Hello, 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 hello there. It's me, Mr. Morrison, your teacher. Or, come to think of it, do you think it's actually Mr. Morrison? Or is it like a virtual Mr. Morrison? That's just a computer program that lives in the computer. That's not actually your teacher at all. What's a computer, Mr. Morrison? I don't know. Now it's hurt my head thinking about it. But okay, we're just gonna move on. We're gonna move on and go over. We're gonna talk about reading for today. Now, reading today. When you click, it should be "Becoming a Knight." Should be the name of the folder, and we're gonna open it. So for today, we are gonna take a pause from the Castle in the Attic. We're not gonna read a new chapter today of the Castle in the Attic. And what we're going to do in place of that is read a short nonfiction or informational text article that kind of goes along with our story, The Castle in the Attic. Okay? Now, an informational text is a nonfiction piece. So meaning nonfiction, meaning it's real, it's not fake. Okay? And it's giving us information on a particular subject. Okay? Because when we read fiction stories, it's important. We've been working on that and the skills of inferring, summarizing, setting, all that. All those are very important in literature and fiction text. But we also need to develop some skills when we read informational or nonfiction text as well. Okay, so when we read real text. Because actually in life, most of the stuff you read, a lot of the stuff you read is going to be informational text or nonfiction, because you're going to be reading a lot of instructions or directions or manuals how to do things in your life. Right? So it's important that we also feel comfortable with informational text as well. Therefore, today we're going to read an informational text piece that goes over the steps to becoming a knight, which obviously relates to our story, The Castle in the Attic, and Sir Simon being a knight. Okay. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to read the article, and then we are going to do a storyboard to accompany that, where we summarize some of the main points of this article. Okay? But what we're going to see is when we're going to read this article of becoming a knight, and we're going to see that there's three main steps to becoming a knight. Okay? So we're going to read through it together. See if I can open it separately here. There we go. So I'm going to read through it right now. Okay, so you can follow along. Is that okay? Yeah, Mr. Morrison, it's fine. Do you guys want a popcorn read, or no, Mr. Morrison, you just go ahead and read it because there's no one else on here. You're just talking to yourself. Okay, this is true. Yes, this is true. Thank you for pointing that out to me. Okay, so I'm going to read through this informational text. It's your job to follow along as I read it right now. So outside text, Becoming a Knight. Becoming a Knight, it's by Sarah Collins, was the author of this. To become a knight, a boy had to go through the steps to knighthood. First, the boy was typically born into a noble or wealthy family, which would have the ability to provide the expensive equipment and weaponry needed to become a knight. From an early age, the boy was taught good manners and told stories of brave knights. The boy would be encouraged to play with toys such as wooden swords and shields in order to mimic the role of a knight. Now, page. You notice the next title here, we have a next subheading, is page. And that tells us that this next section is going to talk about becoming a page. Eventually, the boy would become a page on his 7th birthday. As a page, the young boy focused on receiving an education. He was taught religion, writing, swordsmanship, and chess. A nobleman's wife taught the page manners. Our next subheading says Squire. So this is the next step. At age 14, the page entered into the castle and was assigned to a knight. The squire assisted the knight, tending the knight's horse, and dressing the knight for battle. The squire continued to ride and learn swordsmanship. The most important duty of the squire was to learn the code of chivalry, rules a knight must follow. The code of chivalry taught bravery, honesty, and loyalty. As the squire became more skilled, he accompanied the knight into battle. A squire was deemed a knight after proving his honesty, loyalty, and bravery. Squires typically became knights around the age of 20. Our next subheading is knight. A knighthood ceremony conducted by a knight, noble, or king marked the final symbolic step to becoming a knight. That's the end of that informational text. So from reading that, we can see there are three main steps to becoming a knight. And each step was different and gave us a little information on what each of those steps was. Okay? It's going to be our job today is to summarize this article and to summarize those different steps using Storyboard That. Okay? So we've read the article, but it's right here for you to read again, okay, and look back to. Okay? Now, we have a Becoming Knight storyboard assignment, and mine looks a little different than yours, and I get that. So I'm just going to pull up the directions on this sheet right here, which I've made, and I'm going to go over the directions right here. So these are your instructions. After reading the informational text article, Becoming a Knight, which we just read, you now know the 3 steps to becoming a knight. So again, well, if I had forgotten what those 3 steps were, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to look back on the article. And look, I can look back 1, 2, 3. Those are the 3 steps. Page, squire, knight. Using Storyboard That, you are going to show and summarize each step. Okay, so I have this template right here. Okay, notice I've already labeled it. A section for the page, a section for the squire, a section for the knight. So each one gets their own cell. And I've written in like blue, it says page, squire, knight. Okay, in the yellow, bottom section of each cell, summarize in words what each step was and what they had to do. So in this yellow section, you're going to summarize, and again, when you summarize, you're not just repeating exactly what the author says. You're taking it, you're thinking about it, and you're going to say it in your own words. Okay? So you're going to say it in your own words. Explain each step. So you're going to look back in the article, excuse me, and reread the page section. What did a page do? What was the page responsible for? All that. Okay? What did that step involve? So you're going to read through it again, and then you're going to rewrite it in your own words. You're going to summarize it in your own words. And what you will do is you will write it right there. Okay? So you'll write it in the yellow. And then you'll show me that in visuals. So you'll show me then, okay, well, if this is what a page does, or the steps to becoming a page, and this is what a page is responsible for, well, show me that in pictures, right? Then you'll show me that in pictures. You'll do the same thing then for the squire step. So explain what a squire did. What was a squire responsible for? Okay, what was that all about? And then show it. And then finally, a knight. So what was the final step of becoming a knight? What did they have to do to become a knight? And then show it. So again, you're using this informational text to go back and to summarize and to show that you understand those different sections. So again, use this article. Have it pulled up right next to your storyboard so you can go back and forth between the two. Now, should you copy directly what it says? No, you should not, right? You should put it in your own words. Now, some of the words will be the same, obviously, some of it, vocabulary and all that, but it should be your own words telling. Okay? And then show it. So again, a page, like, well, this is what a page did, and I'm going to show that somehow. Okay? And again, you don't just want to say for your summary, though, that like the first step was becoming a page. Yeah, we know that. But you want to tell then, okay, what's a page do? What was a page responsible for? What was a squire do? What did a squire do? What was a squire responsible for? What were the duties of a squire? What did a knight do? How did you finally become a knight? right? So you're going to show and tell about each 3 of those steps using the informational text from this article. When you are done, you're going to download your storyboard as a high-res image, and upload it to the Schoology assignment, just like you always do. And that's how you submit it. All right? And that will be your reading. That's our reading assignment for today. So we're not doing, again, a new chapter today. We're just focusing on this informational text and the information that we get from it, because it's important that we are able to pull and understand information from informational text, and especially this one that goes along with our story. All right. As always, if you have questions as you're working through it, after you watch my directions, which you're doing right now, then you can let me know, and I will help out best I can.